Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to give you some few pointers on these mirrors that you have purchased from us. Thank you very much, by the way. So this is what the basic frame looks like. The top of the frame have these triangles. So this goes, and this is the top, and this part goes in the bottom. That's important because that won't fit in the base. So we're going to Mylar this frame for you to kind of see how the process is done. Before you put the Mylar on, you want to look for places like this where the frame has either got a defect in the wood or it's been chipped. These little places will cause wrinkles in your Mylar. Simple, easy fix. Just take a piece of tape and go over top of it and just smooth it out. Just like that. That just keeps it from having any rough edges and puncturing your Mylar. So the Mylar, the side that you want out for your audience to see is the inside of the Mylar. The inside, this side. Not the other side, but the inside where you roll it out.
It's shinier.
It's shinier.
So you can kind of, not much shinier, but a little bit, just enough to matter.
Make them, so we're going to start from the top, no, from the bottom,
Either way.
the bottom, and we're going to Mylar the top. So what you do is you just hold it down, and the nice thing about this Mylar is it's the exact size of the frame, so you don't need to trim anything on the edges. You only have to trim the ends. So the first thing we want to do is we want to secure this end and line up the Mylar so it's not going crooked. All right, so we need to start taping down here. I have some little, now if you want to, we've cut some little tabs of tape on a piece of board, and sometimes it helps just having some tabs to get started with so you're not dealing with a big piece of tape right away. And there's no real need to bend over the Mylar over this because you're going to end up with about a ½ inch of black
Actually, you don't
tape.
want, it's better to, on the, yeah, you don't have, on this you will.
So you don't really need to go over the edge because even going over the edge is going to cause some wrinkles in the Mylar.
Or you lose also taping capability.
Yes. All
You
right.
lose tape surface by going over the edge.
So let's start taping this across. We need long pieces of tape. Now, when you're taping, it's good to have someone working the sides as you go up to make sure you're straight.
So we secured it to help.
We secured this
down
end
there.
down here, and now Kendall is going to cut this to length.
You don't want to go over a whole bunch, because again, you'll lose surface to tape to. But you want to make sure that you got enough.
We need fingers to hold the Mylar down.
And you want to hold just with a little tension.
Yeah, a little tension.
There you go. Sharp scissors are preferable.
They certainly make it a smoother tape.
Okay.
So now we need somebody on each corner to hold.
Okay. I'll take this corner. So we have a person on each corner.
Yeah.
And then we're going to start opposite of each other in the middle.
Yeah. Get it relatively tight around the center. And what you're doing is you're actually putting the tape about a ½ inch on the Mylar first, and then you pull it tight. And then pull it, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So Philip will, let's work this way, so Philip
Okay.
will do this side. Pull and stretch.
I ended up having a piece because I cut mine in half.
Keep going.
Phil's like, where'd you get your And so we are just working our way down the Mylar, pulling at the same place across. And there will be wrinkles you have to chase out of the mirror. That's
The adjustment later.
There's adjustments because you'll have, if you get this looking perfect, it will change because your climate changes, your humidity changes.
Vertical versus horizontal.
Vertical versus horizontal, depending depending on which base you put in, it may twist. This is all natural materials, and natural materials change shape and size. So you just adjust with it. Ready?
You want to pull this a little bit?
It's right there. So you're gonna work that out. Maybe. Better. So where there are bumps, sometimes you just have to, you try to work the wrinkles toward the bumps so they're going to be there no matter what. Like in the middle where sometimes the bars stick up. You just push your wrinkles toward that.
I got off that here, but remember, from 50 yards away, they can't tell an eighth of an inch. So if you get up on this and you look at it with magnifying glass, you'll find flaws. Step back 30 yards, and they magically disappear. I still see that these are organic.
Well, I mean, the Mylar does stretch a little, but not too much. So you just have to understand that.
So does the tape, I mean, the whole thing does, I mean, the woods, forests, I mean.
And don't forget, you always have show magic. Get it out in the field, under the lights, everything looks better.
The heat versus cold.
Heat versus cold. On a cold day, they get very loose because the wood shrinks. And on hot days, they get really tight because the heat expands.
Okay, so that's the end.
So probably just come over this with a little tiny piece. Get that bumped out.
Now what you want to do is move it toward the end and just let this hang off about an inch so you can get all the way around it.
You pull.
I'll pull, actually I'll pull before I put it down.
Do
You can
Sorry,
if it goes over, it's no
Yeah,
big
okay.
deal. You can deal it.
Yeah, we cut it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So now what you want to do is just work it toward it in a way.
Yeah.
Can you grab it here, Sarah?
Oh, yeah,
Flip it down and just kind of get it about where the end is tape should be. Couple of touches.
So basically what we're doing is we're putting pressure on it and kind of pulling out. You want to try to get all your wrinkles to the corners, and then you'll chase them.
And you can wiggle it.
Let's pull all that out. Yeah.
Yeah, big piece.
You going that way?
You got a defect in your wood down there.
I've got some sharps.
That side, and then we can.
Okay. There's some, if those aren't sharp, I got sharper scissors.
Just, yeah, we gotta go with
And then we can tape, kind of like tack it.
it.
While you're watching this, we can talk about some of the things that deteriorate the Mylar. Oil from your skin, sunblock, lotion, Windex. Do not put Windex on these. Now you may think, okay, these things billow. We don't want them to billow. We want to put a piece of Luan behind that. Done that, doesn't look good. They look best with free floating. When you put Luan behind it, the Mylar gets a static charge, and then it gets really wrinkly. And then you don't want to use any adhesive on the back of this because adhesive, like spray mounting adhesive, takes off the reflective part of it, and it also causes it to wrinkle up when the temperature changes. So we've tried those. This is the best way to get the best look out of these mirrors.
Anything behind it, behind that, will show through. You can't get around it. So air is the best thing to have behind it.
And some days your competition, the wind is behind you. That's good. If you have a windy competition, it is, you have to have somebody on every mirror when you're putting these together, because these do catch the wind and will travel, have mirror will travel. We did have a competition where we got permission from the judges to have parents stand on the mirrors on the field so that it wasn't a safety risk.
And today it's all.
We just couldn't move the mirrors.
Now see, as we put this together, you'll see there's some fingerprints right here. You can't see this from the judge's box. If you get enough of them, just get a wet cloth with just a little couple little drops of Dawn, wipe it, and then wipe it off, and the fingerprints will come right off. Other things that will damage this, of course, it's at risk for puncture, so you don't want people poking at it or letting these rest up against something where it will poke. The other thing is these will melt. And we did find out we had a mirror by a bus, and the exhaust from the bus melted one of the mirrors. So if you do tee these up between buses, keep it away from the exhaust from the bus, because they will melt. And that's a very quick change of a Mylar, which we usually change about 1 or 2 per competition. If we have, what, 30?
Take it down.
Okay, now we're gonna move. Now we have a wrinkle here. We're not really worried about it because we can shim that out, or we can chase it out by moving the tape.
Well, maybe. That's. What did we start doing?
Philip, next time you go back, can you get me a little piece here?
Yeah. Okay.
Which way are you going? This way?
Sure.
I see you.
Yeah, hopefully. So when you're pulling on the Mylar like this, if you pull too much, you'll cause it to wrinkle. If you don't pull enough, it causes it to wrinkle. So there's kind of like a nice in-between of tension that'll make it smooth. Or smoother.
Oh, thank you. I need the little scissors over here on the table.
They're right here.
Thank you. So all I'm doing here is just cutting a little easement
Like
for
on
the
gift
tape.
wrap, right?
Right. Just so that I can get around it. Another trick that we have done in the past, let's say you did all this and then you have just like a loose spot here. You can just go tape right over top of it and give it a little stretch and pull it out again. You don't have to take the tape off. You could put tape over top of tape.
I'm gonna adjust this. Let's see if I can get into this out.
So this is our terminology of chasing a wrinkle. So we have a wrinkle, and he's going to try to work it out by lifting and maneuvering the tape. But as you can see, the frame moves. So you're never going to get it 100% the first time. That's why we have other ways of tightening up the mirror.
You do it with the scissors.
They're right here.
Ta-da!